Hello?
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.
We need to talk.
Welcome back to We Talk, episode number 104. I'm your host, Mr. MR.KOA, alongside
Top Boy.
Top has a little animal in the building.
I don't know if
alongside KOA.
the camera. I don't think the camera can see it. They can see me petting her.
Yeah, pick him up.
Let me pick her up.
Pick her up. Sorry.
Pick her up.
Sorry, I called you him. I apologize.
Little girl right there.
What's up, KOA?
WNTT. Look at you.
What's up, KOA?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna put you back to sleep.
She's like, what the
Do your
fuck?
thing.
What
My
the fuck
bad.
are you doing?
My bad.
If animals could talk, she'd be like, you think I want to be on camera?
She's like, nigga, I'm trying to sleep. That's what she's saying.
I'm gonna hop right into it.
Yeah.
We can go so many directions with today's. I have so many topics. I want to talk about you too as well. So we're finished Temptation Island
Season 2.
Season 2. Before we get into the juicy stuff, so Instagram, as we know it, is a social app, and it's definitely broken up by hierarchy of popularity and the blue check and all, like we talked about some stuff in earlier episodes, but now as the economy is kind of in this weird space, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of influencers per se, or people that are known on social media aren't getting the same opportunities anymore because it's not there. And I feel like because of that, and especially because you're not going out anymore, at least in Canada.
In Canada,
people don't have the same pull, and they're not getting that. They're not getting the energy that they're used to from the clout that they've built for themselves. So I know I can only assume, but I feel like a lot of people right now that are used to going out and being known for who they are and blah blah, and don't have that, and haven't been getting that for almost over a year now. They're struggling with like.
Oh, you mean like they're deprived?
Deprived. I don't know if it's there's identity issues that can come from it. But it's what are your thoughts? I mean, we talked about it a long time ago, so we can kind of bring it back and circle back, because I have actually a situation that is very interesting we can talk about. But what have your thoughts been with follower count? Have you even noticed it when you talk to certain girls? Do you check it out? Are you more timid if a girl has a lot versus a little?
So I'll say this. I know that it used to play in my head where I was like, oh, she could have a follower count with a K, like in the Ks, like over 10,000. Something in my head would go, oh, she's a little different. Like, I feel like she'd be less likely to respond to a dude who has maybe like 1,000.
Okay.
Right. But over time that changed. I just quickly realized that if you come with the right energy, they usually don't really care about that. The only time the follower count really plays is when and if they're actually going to see your DM. Because I feel like if you're not past a certain threshold and you try to reach out to someone who's got like over 10,000, for example, it either ends up in the other or
it's never going to be seen.
It's just never going to be seen. It's just never going to be seen. We all saw that viral thing of T-Pain recently.
I haven't seen it.
You see, so T-Pain
sent the DM out?
No, he posted on his Instagram. He was like, he basically said he realized he was a clown because he had no clue for all these years on Instagram that there was an other.
He probably has things just pending in there,
bro. He's like, when you realize you're a clown, and he screen recorded his scrolling through them, and he had like Jamie Foxx. He had like all these big name people sending him messages. Said he's like, yo, I'm a dickhead for like not responding. Like, these people probably think I'm ignoring them.
Living in limbo for years.
Like, when he was scrolling through, it said like 300 weeks ago, like all these people, like Diplo, all these people. So he ended up reaching back out, and he's like, like, I did not know this.
Man's wife could be in there. You even know.
You never know, right? So yeah, like I think it plays a factor in that kind of world. Okay. But
so what about the blue check? Does that change anything for you socially? You meet a girl online. Sorry, you meet a girl in person. Hey, what's up? Blah, blah. Everything's cool. Great exchange. And then you're like, oh no, she goes, you go to, you go to her. Oh, so you have Instagram? And she goes, yeah, for sure. Gives it to you, and you see the blue check. Does that do any? any eyebrow raise, any response internally? Maybe you probably won't say anything else.
You know what it actually does for me?
What?
The first thing my brain thought was, okay, so she has a blue check. She gives me an Instagram. I see the blue check. The first thing my brain goes and says is, I can do anything.
What do you mean?
Because
like confidence wise?
Yeah, it boosts my confidence. Because I'm like, I'm a regular dude. Like, I'm not famous. I don't got a blue check. I don't got over 10,000. And she likes me.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I can do anything. Like, we've all been. I'll just speak on us. Like,
sure.
You know, I know plenty of men who have been with girls who've also been with like celebrities.
Right.
Right. And obviously, you know, depending on like what type of person you're into, you're usually going to operate in the same realm.
Right.
Right. But over time, you quickly realize that, yeah, like I don't need to operate in this realm. I'll do whatever makes me happy, blah, blah, blah. But I remember when I was younger, in like my early 20s, I used to know, I knew girls that were sleeping with dudes from like ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they like, it was like an ego thing for them. Remember, we're younger, so they didn't know any better time, but they're like, I'm sleeping with blah, blah, blah.
Like the hottest guys at the time.
Yeah, they're like, I'm sleeping, blah, 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 blah. And I remember my boy was just like, yeah, but I also like slept with you last week. Like, I slept with you last week. So like, what does that really say about you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now as I get older and I think about it, the checkmark stuff doesn't really throw me off, but I understand why it throws them off.
Mm-hmm.
Why they're hesitant to like kind of
the person owning the check.
The person owning the check.
Right.
But I've just always wondered, like, you know, with women, how do they operate? Like, if you got a check and you got thousands of followers, 100,000 followers, who are you talking to? Like, are you talking to other men who operate in that realm, or are you talking to just like, you're still talking to the quote unquote regular men? Mm-hmm. I only say regular when they don't have like the stupid follower count.
Regular. When you regular in the sense of the social media classes.
Social media, yes. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Okay, so the reason I asked this question, I had a recent situation where something similar to that happened.
Okay.
You know, on dating apps, the ones I hate, obviously, but they've been getting a little bit better. Still don't really like dating apps for the sense that conversations are just not intellectual on there. But I have it on, so I haven't deleted the app, so people can still match with me. And I hadn't used Bumble in a while, and it's funny because so Bumble, the way Bumble works is that for anyone that doesn't know, the girls have to message the guy first, right? And if you don't have a premium account on Bumble, you'll get notifications saying people like you.
Yeah, but you don't know who.
You don't know who.
Yeah.
Right. So I had been on Bumble in like a while, and I had like maybe like 30, 40 things in there, but you can't see them.
Yeah, you can. Right? Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
Like, who is it?
And I'm like, do I pay for premium to just see? Like, they're just in there because you can't. The thing is, you can still match with them, but you don't know who they are until you go through the fucking swiping.
Yeah, and it'll let you know if you missed a match.
Exactly, right?
And you might have missed a match. And you're like, oh, she was bad, but I don't know. And, and you're like, fuck.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm like, there's 40 people up there, 30 people up there. I'm like, let me see some. I get premium. It's like, I think like $20 or something. I pay for a month. And I go in there and I'm swiping, right?
Sure.
I'm like, no. Literally, no for everybody. No. And I get to the bottom and I'm like, who's that? I'm like, curious. I was like, I go in there and the person's name. Have you ever met somebody and their name is unusual? So you search on Instagram because they most likely be able to find them.
Yes, yeah. It's like an odd name. You're like, they gotta be the only one,
right?
Yeah.
Like if I search some more, I'll find your.
Yeah.
There's probably no one else.
Yeah, you'll find me. Yeah.
So if the person's name is fucking Kyle or Ashley, you're like, if I put Ashley on Instagram, like you're gonna have everything.
Yeah, you're gonna find.
When their name's unusual, you're like, they're probably using their name because it's unusual. That it's probably on there.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just see something real quick.
Yeah.
So I searched. This person's name is not usual at all. Very, very original. I put it in there, and rest and behold, their name's obviously there. Full name, because it's not a normal name.
Yeah.
and I see their page. I go to their page and they have the blue check and they have an M.
Okay. What's crazy is my response. I wasn't even playing. It was so natural. I was like, okay.
They have an M.
Okay. I didn't even mean for it to come out like that.
It's funny because it's like, you know the vibe.
Yeah.
So they have the blue check and an M because that's a different.
Yeah.
People have blue checks that have 4,000 followers.
Yeah, that's a different echelon.
Like if you're an athlete or you've been to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Or you're a porter, you can get a blue check. I've seen people that have literally under 10K followers with a blue check. Yeah. So blue check is cool, but the M is different.
Yeah, that was different. That's a little different.
When you get the M and the blue check, you're a little different.
The M that's probably the highest tier.
Oh, for sure.
Because let's break down the tiers real quick, right? So there's over 10,000.
So you got there's a 10K break.
There's a 10K break. You're like, oh, okay. Like a lot of people know this girl, right? Then there's
the 100K break.
The 100K break. Anything from 100 to, I would say,
500K.
Yeah, anything from 100 to 500K. You're like, oh, okay.
She's out there.
Like people know her. Right?
Yeah.
Anything over 500K to $1 million. You're like,
everyone knows her.
You're like, everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows her.
Everyone, if someone sees her, they're like, I've seen this
person.
For sure.
Anything over $1 million, you're like, she's probably known well in other countries.
Yes.
Right?
For sure.
Now, if you have a check mark and you have over $1 million, you're like, okay, you're famous. Like, you're famous.
Because the thing is, it's somewhere. That's the thing, because it's like there are people on Instagram that have over 1 million followers. You're like, who is this?
Yeah, they'll be like these random people from South America, and you're like, what? Like,
who is it? But they're somewhere.
Yeah, they're like, popping. Yeah,
popping.
Yeah.
Regardless, if they have over an M, they are popping, and you're not.
Yeah.
Compared to this.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyways, I do my creeping. I see the person. I'm like, oh shit! I see the M. I see the blue boy, and I'm like, at this point, I haven't responded to the swipe yet.
Yeah.
They're just in the pending. And I'm like, interesting. And I asked myself before I actually swiped, I was like, does this change anything for me, really? Like, am I like, like, no. And the reason is because I have celebrity friends that are way over 1 million followers, way over this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I know them in real life and they're really cool people, So I was like, I think if I didn't have that experience, I maybe my personality wouldn't, but like, let's say as a normal person, if they didn't have those experiences where they're around people in those environments with a lot of following, a lot of popularity, they may have that thing like, oh, like they're probably assholes or they're probably cocky. Like they have like preconceived notions of who they are as a person based on their social class, right?
Yeah.
But because I know people with these numbers and know famous people that walk the streets and get bombarded and they're really cool people, I'm like, she's probably just dope. Like, she's probably dope. So I swipe. I was like, cool, we match this person, whatever. And we're talking, everything's cool. And we're talking about what I do. And obviously I'm a photographer and create things. And I've worked with different people, blah, blah, blah. And we're just talking back and forth. And I'll get into my trip and potential leaving, whatever. But we're talking about, LA and different things. And she goes, and my Instagram is on my Bumble account. So even if you don't match me, you can go check my page.
Check you out.
You can go check my page, right?
Yeah.
So we hadn't matched at the time, but she checked my page already because I had, my name there. So she mentions it in the convo. She's like, "Oh, I checked out your work and it's really dope. Like you'll do well, you'll do really well." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, appreciate it." I was like, remember though, you've
already seen it.
I've already seen hers.
Yeah.
But I gotta play this right. I could have said, I already searched your name because I was being weird and wanted to, but I was like, let me just not.
Yeah.
At least, especially because I know the situation and how it is. I'm like, I was like, let me just make this a normal conversation.
Yeah, let's just see how she goes. Yeah.
I think, and the thing is, I think if she didn't have the blue boy or the M, I probably would have been like, oh, I already found your account. But just You know what I mean?
Yeah, but because you had already seen how much she's at, you're like, let me just play this. Like, I don't want to bring it up to then weird her out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So there's that situation. So I'm like, oh, you creep me already? Oh, cool. I'm like, what's your Instagram? I'm like, I'll follow you. And then I think I said something else about, thanking her for her compliment, whatever. And she goes, yeah, your Instagram is dope, blah, blah, blah. And she completely bypasses my question about what's her Instagram and just keeps talking. And I was like, and I noticed, I'm just like, I noticed you purposely omitted your Instagram, which is completely fine. Like I'm cool with that. Some people want to keep it private. No worries. But thank you for the compliment. Like, And she responds, she's like, here's my Instagram. And she's like, and yes, I did purposely omit that part.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm like, I knew she did. And because of the blue boy and the M. And then I made sure to address it because I'm forward. And I'm just like, yo, I know you purposely admitted that. Like, and it's cool. Like, I get it. I'm like, when you have that M, it changes people, And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, most people, when they see that another person they're talking to has an M, the whole dynamic of this convo will change.
Oh my God. Like, what is it like? What do you do? Yeah.
Maybe not even like in the excited way, but in the way where it's like,
they're now timid.
Oh, now don't want to say the wrong thing because like you're not talking to me as a person.
Yeah,
you're talking to me as a figure, you know. And she goes. Honestly, like I really did think about it before I gave it to you, but based on the industry you're in, I felt like you'd understand.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh shit, like that's true. Like she was right.
Yeah,
but it's funny because I'm like, I know that she's had plenty of conversations with people who are like, yo, what's your Instagram? You know, fucking niggas like ask for Instagram all the time. All the time. What's your Instagram? What's your Instagram? Yeah. And I know she has to be like, no. Like, I know she.
I don't want to give it. Like, yeah.
I know she has to do that because niggas would trip.
Yeah.
So when you ask that question, like, what's it like for them? I'm like, I can only imagine that when they're out, the guy's like, yo, you have Instagram? And they're like, I don't really. Like, they might even lie and be like, nah. Like, because it's like right now you're physically in front of me. Like, I think a different situation now with her and me is we're online. I don't know you. You're a stranger. You know, if I give this to you, it doesn't like you might follow, you might not.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. But I think the in-person situations are kind of strange for women like that.
Yes,
because it's like
if I'm in person with you and you ask like, hey, what's my Instagram? The girl that like she. For you, it worked out because there's a barrier. There's no you're not in person,
right?
So she can take the time to figure it out.
Think about it.
But if you're in person, if she says like she has to either make up a random excuse to say I don't have Instagram, or she literally says this is my Instagram, and she says it to you, and you're like, "Sec, let me just look it up." And most guys will do this. They'll like type it in, and they'll be like, "Wait, what? No, that's gonna be wrong." What's your Instagram again? Oh, what? You have over 1 million?
And the thing is,
they'll say it.
Why do you have to address it?
Yeah, they'll say it. They'll be like, you have over 1 million?
She knows.
Literally, you just gotta follow and you just gotta get the account, follow, and just put your phone down.
Keep talking.
I'm like, cool.
Bro,
yeah.
This is advice for you guys. You ever meet a girl with all the followers and she actually gives it to you and you're physically there and she clearly is showing some interest. Play it cool. Like, don't address the number. And
that's the thing.
There's no need. She knows what she has.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, you and I in this creative space, and it's like we know that there are some advantages to having a lot of followers, right? And I think for us, like the reason I would play it cool is not because it genuinely like is shocking to me. I would just play it cool because I realize at this point in our careers, the comfort, like, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. You have a lot of followers, sick. Like, let's keep it moving. But some people, for whatever reason, get really lost in the sauce about that, where they're like, yo, this person has X amount of followers. Like, that means they must be out here. People must know them. And they got all these people. I'm just like, it's not that serious, bro.
Focus on the present. They're talking to you.
Yeah.
That's what matters. So I'll get into the next part of this situation. I will be heading to LA in a couple weeks to potentially, to work on some things and get some meetings and plan a move out there, which is bittersweet. It's I feel like it's time for me specifically. Every time I'm there, I've been to LA, I don't even know how many times at this point. And every time I'm there, I'm just like, yo, I just want to live here. Like I've said that, it comes out of my mouth every time I'm there. And I'm just like, I've said it, but I've never said it in all seriousness, but I know I'm saying because I actually mean that. And, you know, there's opportunities out there, of course, as anywhere in the world, but I feel like anything, I almost feel the same right now as I felt 3.5 years ago when I left my job.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like do you feel like you've plateaued?
Yes.
And you're like, okay, I need to switch it up.
It's that same feeling, not to quit my job.
It's just, you need to change. You need to change.
And the thing is, once you have that feeling, it's stuck on you. There's like, as soon as I felt like I had to leave my job, going to work every day after that was a wrap. I was like, yeah, this is shit. And then just your mental health goes down. You're like, I hated being at work. I started making mistakes. I'm just like, my mind's already gone. My soul's gone. Everything's gone. Like you just have to make that leap. And I literally feel that same way now with, you know, the city of Toronto. As much as I love it, it's home. I just feel like the interaction I've been having, the people I've been meeting, I'm just like, I don't really talk to people. Like I talk to my boys, like I talk to you, I talk to my cousin and my other best friends or whatever. But I'm not really interacting with the city. Like I'm not
I feel you.
I feel connected here.
Yeah.
Like I used to be. And I think not because they pushed me out, because I think I've retracted myself with reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
And
makes
to
sense.
the point where it's like, I don't even like, I'm home, but I'm like, I'm not inspired in this city.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I don't feel like I'm like, yeah, like so much I can do here in Toronto. Like I want to do this, like and meet this person. I'm like, not really. Like I kind of know most of the people here, and I'm good. Like I have my clients I work with, and that's kind of just who I work with. I have the business I work with, and there's no one here that I, you know, really want to work with or really want to do something with or excited to do this project with this guy. It's more like I'll get these emails and, you know, can we do some work together? It's like, yeah, cool. Like I'm open to it, but I am not intrinsically excited to do these projects with certain people here. You know what I'm saying? And I think that lack of internal inspiration is really taking a toll on me. And, you know, when I contrast it with my mood when I'm in LA, just even when you just land in LA, so you've been there before, even when you just land there, you're like, yo, all right,
energy's different.
Let's get some shit done. Like,
yeah, and that's usually the case when you're in like a brand new environment, right? But I feel like LA for you is pretty, it's like really conducive to your lifestyle. You know, you already have like some connections out there in terms of like family and like good friends, and just I just think the LA lifestyle makes sense for you. You know, I think it really does.
So a few people have said that to me. In your opinion, like,
why?
I'm trying to like, I don't know what that means. Like, I agree with it in my head, but like when I've heard people say like, yo, that LA lifestyle, it matches. I'm like, I don't know what that means externally. Like, I agree with it, but I'm like, what do I see? Yeah. Like,
what do I see that lets me feel that way? You know, like in a lot of ways, like most cities, every city has like a vibe, and there's like positives and negatives to it, right? LA catches a lot of flack for being, people will say it's like very vain because like it's Hollywood, right? And then it could be fake, and it's like you can say the same thing about Toronto, you can say the same thing about a lot of cities, but I feel like LA is a place where a lot of people are. LA, like Toronto, there's a lot of people that occupy the city that's not actually from there. And as a result, you're likely to be around a lot of people who are constantly trying to hustle in like whatever field or craft that they're in. By nature, you're someone that does that regardless. Like you just do a bunch of different things and always have since I've known you. So I feel like you could be dropped into any city in the world and do that. But LA in particular, because there's just so many opportunities there that align with shit that you already do.
Right.
So it's like think about like you were doing you mentioned earlier, like you have a lot of celebrity friends, right? Like you've taken photos and been like with celebrities and traveled with them and done all these things for them. And you've been
just come back home.
And you've been doing that from Toronto. And it's like, I feel like the opportunities to do that, I don't feel like that's going to change in LA.
No.
I just feel like the ease of access is going to be a lot more.
Yeah, like that.
Like it's going to be easier. Like there's so many people that are already in LA,
right?
That it's like, okay, we saw that you did this with Mayweather. We saw that you did this with Kevin Hart. Like, can you like fly out here and do this? And it's like, well, I'm already here.
Exactly.
It's a barrier.
That exact conversation.
Yeah, it's a barrier. It's
the difficulty.
Yeah, it's a barrier that's already like taken out. Then they're not thinking, okay, we got to include paying for this guy's like travel, blah blah. Even though that you could handle that on your own.
Right.
Now it's an added bonus.
When you're not physically there.
It's an added bonus. It makes life a lot easier. So yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Thank you for that. No, I'm kind of aligned there as well. I've more thought about like the conversations. I've never needed, and I'm sure the same way. I've never needed an intro. For anything. Just put me in the room.
Put you in a room. You'll do the rest.
I don't really need something like, oh, this is this guy. He's done. Like I don't need all that. Like I can be in the room in Rome, just kind of bump into someone, kind of just talk to them and go from there. But to be in the room, I got to physically be there.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So, and just even that example you gave, like I've done stuff for different celebrities and travel with them, and done all this, and then after the project's done, I go home and they're like, yo, I wish you could stay. I'm like, I can't. Like,
I gotta go home.
I gotta go home, which is
I have to. Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, I don't have a choice.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. It's when you have these obligations, and that's the thing, bro. Like there's a lot of times where I'm like, yeah, I want to go do certain things, blah, blah, blah. And it's like I got certain obligations, right? And
which I've chosen,
and I'm not mad at them because I can like work around these obligations. If I need something to get taken care of, I can do that. But at the end of the day, like it's kind of funny how we're choosing to make certain decisions that are going to have like long lasting impacts, right? Like career wise and personal life. Cause this is also going to affect like your personal life, right? And I think in a positive way. And I think this will be outside of you quitting like the corporate life to go full-time freelance and starting your own business. This will be like the next time you make a decision that
shift. It's
like a big commitment shift, and it's funny, like me getting this fucking dog, right? Like, everyone I was talking to, they're like, yo, you're basically getting a kid.
It's a kid. Yeah.
It's a kid, right? Like it's a kid whose shit you just never stop picking up, right? And I was like, yeah. But then I like really thought about it. And I was like, all things considered, like knock on wood, if things are cool with this dog, like I'm going to have this dog till I'm like 44.
Like a big dog. Is the girl's big?
It doesn't get huge. No, okay. It doesn't get huge. It's like medium sized dog.
But that's your partner.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm going to be 30 next year. But if this dog is healthy, she'll be around till I'm like 40, 45. I've never made a decision in my life.
Commitment like that.
I've never made any commitment in my life.
Like a relationship can end.
Yeah.
This is not ending. You don't just...
I can't just end this.
You don't break up with the dog.
I can't break up with the dog. You know what I mean? So then...
I don't like you shitting on the ground anymore.
Yeah. We're done. So it's like parallel that to like with what you're about to do, right? Like obviously we don't know the length of time, but we know that this is one of those decisions where, and based on what I know about you, is one of those decisions where you'll make it and it's highly unlikely that like you're going to be like, yeah, it's not that it won't work out, but it's highly unlikely that you'd think otherwise about it.
Like change my mind. No.
Yeah, it's highly unlikely. Yeah. So I know it's one of those decisions where it's like, yeah, he's making this decision. We're going to sit on this for a while, and it just makes the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, in terms of, obviously the necessary question for you listeners is what happens with the podcast. What happens with WNTT? We don't know yet. Is the honest answer. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
This has been our baby for, last 3 years, almost 4 years. And, as we say all the time, it's therapeutic. It's You guys love it. We love it. It's fun for us to do. It gives us a moment to just be ourselves and be authentic. So it's not something I would want to end.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a different dynamic when I'm chilling on the couch with Zamora than if I'm fucking across the state and we're doing this on the computer. Like it's a completely different
vibe altogether.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think conversation's conversation.
Yeah.
The vibe might be different, sure, but I'm sure maybe we can create a different vibe through online. I don't know. I have no idea. But
see how it goes.
We're gonna sit and plan. The goal is to keep it going. I'd hope. I want to. I think even having the dynamic of talking to you from LA would
and it's like
would be dope.
It could be one of those things where it's like if you like, I'm
maybe not weekly. Like it doesn't
have to be weekly, but it's also one of those things where it presents different opportunities as well. Where it's like, we know I'm gonna, when shit's open up and travel again. Like if you're in LA, I'm gonna go to LA. We're gonna record a podcast when we're out there. Like shit like that. Right. Like the podcast is not gonna just disappear for good. Like let's just make that clear. Like it's not a for good thing. It might just be a little bit more sporadic in terms of when episodes come out, but we'll figure it out. Like we've been doing this for like 4 years and we do the whole thing ourselves. Like you've seen us come and go because we've got shit going on in our own lives, like work wise and career wise, but we'll make it work. Yeah. We know people want to listen. So
it's already done Zoom live, so who knows?
Yeah.
Now we get into the juicy stuff. We're 30 minutes in. I think it's a good time for us to get into Temptation Island. Zamora is now finished season 2, which is my favorite season. I've watched all 3.
Yeah.
So I
can't wait till there's another one, bro. I can't wait till there's another season.
Did you watch the other 2?
I watched all of 2. I'm gonna watch 3.
And number 1?
And number 1, but it's like I'm gonna speed through those real quick.
You mean like a season 4?
I need season 4, like so I can watch it in totality with everyone.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, let's get into this.
Yeah, let's get into it. The best season of Temptation Island as of now, out of the 3, in my opinion, season 2. Zamora has only seen season 2, which is the best season, so that's all we can talk about anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly,
where do we even start?
Last week, let's just talk about what we talked about last week to clear the air. Last week we talked about KB.
Yeah. Demon.
I think it was solely about KB last week.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give away too much because I haven't watched it yet, but KB was 6'7", 260 fucking.
No, we're giving it all away.
Demon monster.
Yeah.
And we can give it all away now because this episode is if you haven't watched it now, then
season 2's been out for years.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to give away for Zamora specifically, not for you guys. I don't give a fuck about you guys. like that.
Yeah.
So last we talked about KB, 6'7", 260 demon approaches one of the contestants' girlfriends, and just says this is the girl I'm choosing, and he just fucking goes on kill mode.
Yeah. And
first day she fucking breaks.
Yeah.
And
I have to go in on
as a result of her breaking, the way the show works is, every, I think, couple days or so, you get this bonfire, and this bonfire allows you to see what your partner is doing at their house with their singles.
Yeah.
So first night, KB slaughters, of course. He's a monster. He's a monster. So he's huge. She's small. That was a slaughtering that night.
He blew her back out.
Blew through it. So, in the moment, she's horny. She's this, she's that. She does it. But immediately after, she's like, fuck. Like, day 1, like, am I fucked? Like, she's literally like, am I fucked? Like, am I fucked?
Bro, but she felt...
She had no chance.
No, but
And go ahead, because...
She felt that way
based on what the guy said.
No. She said, "Am I fucked?" She felt that way for all of 5 minutes before going on another date with KV and being like, "Oh, I need you closer to me. I miss you." Well, like she was trying to.
She was torn. She was trying to justify it.
She was doubling down on it because she knew that she fucked up. Yeah. Deep down, she knew she fucked up, but she's like, I need to make sure that this thing with KB is real, so that if me and Rick don't stay together, I know that this was for a good cause. Right. But deep down, she knew. Bro, first episode when we see KB and they're talking, I was like, this man is not here for love.
No.
He's not here to love. He's not here to love anyone. He's here to smash, and that's it.
That's it.
That's all he wants to do. And you just so happen to be the first victim. It could have been any woman in there.
Whatever he chose. It could have
been any woman.
Whatever he chose. It just happened to be you. Now, in her defense, there's a part before the couple separate, where
I'm not rocking with this. I know where you're going with this. I'm not rocking with that.
Part before the couple separate, where the host goes, do you guys have any rules? Before you guys split up, whatever. And her man said to her, her man's name Rick.
Yeah.
He's on the other side with the men, so it's not even like he's beside her. So what he said was loud enough that everyone heard. It wasn't just like I'm whispering it to you, like just on the low.
With the handcuffing thing?
Yeah. So
we need to talk about this.
That was wild.
No, it wasn't.
It was wild for him to say in that setting how I'm saying it. Zamor, as a man as well, and me as a man, like regardless of if that was to say, I would never yell it in that setting.
He didn't yell though. Right. When
I say yell,
I know what you mean. Okay.
When I say yell, he didn't scream. But
let's reenact how it went. Okay. Right. So he goes. So KB, Ashley G. She all the girls have to pick a man to go on a date with.
Correct.
She walks up and she picks KB, the largest nigga in the room. Right. Rick gets up and he picks Medina.
Right.
At the end, Mark, being the demon that he is, he looks at Rick and he's like, "What do you think about Ashley's choice?" And he's like, "Ashley's choice." He's like, "Ashley's choice," and everyone like looks and kind of laughs. And he's like, he's like, he's got a nice smile. He looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not handcuffing her, so like it is what it is. She can do what she wants to do.
Right.
And then she was like, not handcuffing me, and KB fed into it. He's like, and then she's like, well, if he's not handcuffing me, someone else is,
which was unnecessary.
But this is why I do not think, and he called her out on it in the reunion.
Right.
This is why I don't think what he said was really that bad for two.
I agree, it wasn't bad when he gave context.
I know, 100%. but even if I didn't get, this is why. Okay. Right. For two reasons. One, she's actually psychotic. Like she said in the very first episode the most toxic shit I've ever heard in my life. Like I've never heard anyone say something so toxic. Fuck. She literally says to the man, she brought them there, right? She says to Rick, her man, if you do anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm going to enjoy this experience to the fullest
extent.
Do you know how crazy that is?
What does that mean?
We know what it means.
What the fuck does that mean? That's my girlfriend,
bro. If the roles were reversed, if I said to my girl, listen, if you do anything that makes me feel embarrassed, I'm gonna enjoy this experience to the fullest. You know what she's thinking. She's like, you're gonna go out here
and
sling your dick all over the place. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So she says this, and I called it from the first episode. I'm like, yo, this guy Rick, he's a simp. Like, I think what's to let her say that to him? Yeah. Okay. This is what I think happened. They said that Rick cheated on her.
Yes.
And then when when Rick and Ashley were talking to the camera separately, Ashley's like, yeah, like I was looking at his phone and I found him texting like sexual things to other women, right? I don't know the context of like what actually happened,
right? But
when it went to Rick, he was like, yeah, like I cheated, right? So for me, I looked at it, I'm like, okay, did they just get to a point where they classified him doing that as cheating and like emotional cheating, or did he actually physically cheat? And the more I watched it, and I was like, I know that this guy's a simp, because I feel like if he didn't physically cheat, but he did just that,
just the messages, and it went on for a long time, he genuinely like felt so, because they were dating for like 4.5 years.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he did that, and he feels as bad about it as I think he does. Now he's in a place where he's like, I don't want to upset her at all. Like anything she says to me, I'm not going to argue. And he's like well within his right to argue some of this shit, but he's too like submissive to her.
I got you.
So she says that wild comment, and my guy doesn't even flinch. He's just like
he knows what it is.
He's like, yeah, he's just
like, he knows what it is.
He's just like, yeah, no. He's like, no, we don't have to argue about this. Like, I'm like, what? I hear this. I'm like, what? I would argue back. I'm like, what are you saying?
You get this, like, yeah.
So then he says what he says. I understand that, like, it can come across as like very wild of him to say that. My thing is,
I'm only defending it only because the setting.
Okay, but my thing is this: in the context of what we talk about, the context.
Yes.
In the context of what the show is,
correct. literally what he said it on the reunion. I was thinking it then. I was like, the context is the moment you and your girl are not together, you guys are single. But you set the ground rules with each other for what this is, what you do and can do. That's what it is. Everyone set the ground rules.
So that's where I disagree.
But that's what the show is. You're single.
But the thing is, I don't give a fuck about the show. Like that's that's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't give like you don't get to tell me, oh, this is rules of the show, babe. Like fuck. I don't give a fuck about the show. So this is why it's my sense, right? Different opinion, which is perfectly fine. I get we're on the show.
Yeah.
I get there's rules of the show. I get there's different scenarios, so on and so forth. I'm down with it. I'll go through all of it. You go through all of it.
Yeah.
Whatever. But we have a real life here.
Outside of this, yeah.
Outside of this fucking shit. So I don't give a fuck if that's what the show said. Like, no, we have a real life.
Absolutely.
So no, we're not fucking single. Don't fucking tell me we're single. Like, no.
Can you? Okay, I get that. But can you justify what? Everything you're saying, right? Like, I agree. Like, in the grand scheme of things, they're not single. Like, these people come on this show and just eat through their whole reputation for no reason, right? But it's like, in the grand scheme of things, imagine they weren't on the show.
Okay.
Right? And it's like, basically, the way I took what he was saying was like, I'm not with her. I'm not with her right now. Like, physically, I can't be with her, so I can't handcuff her, right? Like, I can't hold her from KB. I can't protect her from KB. She is on her. That's how I took it. It's like, it's on her.
Which, if he said that, is way better.
Sure.
Which is why I'm saying...
But she knows Rick. This is the problem. No, but this is the problem.
But she doesn't.
No, what do you mean she does?
She clearly doesn't.
Okay, no.
She took that as, like...
No. No, it's not that she doesn't know Rick. She knows who Rick is. She's psycho.
She knows how to use it.
Yeah. She knows how to use it because there's
she knows what he meant.
She knew.
Yeah.
She knew.
He's not saying go fuck man.
Fam, she knew. They did it for 4.5 years. They're gonna tell me after 4.5 years, your man makes a comment like that, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm out of character. Like, I need to go fuck this big nigga. Like, just stop it. Like, she knew what he meant, but to your point,
she used it.
To your point, I don't think she liked that he said it publicly, in that environment.
Exactly, because it made it. Listen,
because as soon as he said it, everyone was like, "Oh!"
Again, man, another gem for y'all. Never make your girl look stupid.
Never embarrass your girl.
Talked about this. Zamor's talked about this. I've talked. Never make your girl look stupid. So
never embarrass her.
The problem was, which is what I'm saying to you. I don't disagree with what he intended or the context of what he's saying. Yes. We're on the show separate. I can't stop you for anything. I don't want to stop you. I want you to go to that house and be your complete self. And if truly you find love somewhere else that's not me, go do that. But if you actually think we're something, act accordingly. That's all he's saying. Yeah. If there's actually something out there you feel is better for you, go take that. For real. For real, take that. But if you think we mean something, then govern yourself. But saying publicly on TV when the guy asks you, and all the singles are here, not just you and her, not the ones like, and the fucking nigga that she chose is there. You can tell he's about a mission and some action. And he can hear you. Like, for the host to ask you, you're like, I ain't cuffing her.
I handcuffed her,
if I heard that nigga say that, I'm like, oh, I'm in that. Like, his girl.
Yeah, okay.
Like, are you stupid?
Okay,
I mean, he set that up. He didn't justify her to go fuck him. Yeah, but he set that position up so toxic for her that she's like,
okay. But see, look, this was a thing I really wanted to talk about. Yeah, at the end because of Kate's situation too, right? But like, I personally feel like, and I know I'm going to catch heat for this, but I feel like some of these women weren't being held accountable.
I agree. No, I agree.
So like,
I agree.
Even when we say that like Rick kind of set that up for her to be toxic.
No. He set that situation up to make her feel a certain way. Yeah. How she responded is entirely her fucking.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
situation.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but that was not a comfortable situation.
Yeah, I know. I like
created.
Like I literally have I have no sympathy, and the reason why is because Rick didn't bring them on the show. She brought them there because she felt like Rick was trying to do all this shit.
Gotcha.
Before they left, she's crying up on Rick, and Rick's like, I'm not gonna do shit. Like, this isn't a goodbye. Like, I'm seeing like he's trying to console her multiple times, and he's like, the reason we're going on this is so that like you brought me here, but I'm coming on this to try and understand myself better for you.
Correct.
And it was very clear from the jump, like she was feeling KB. Like she made it known when she was with Rick.
He walked out.
She's like, where did you come from? And Rick's like, why'd you react like that?
Why are you so excited? Chill
and she's like, I'm not really excited. Like, we knew you were. Like, stop it.
Like, yo, chill out.
I just felt like some people weren't being held accountable. Like, there was a point when you know, she's getting upset. Like, Mark had to check her multiple times on the show because Medina's like trying to get with Rick. And you know he's playing into it a little bit, but he's shutting her down.
Right.
And there was
she's getting mad.
And there was like one scene where she's just like, you know, I don't like that he's like telling her how she feels, even though that she's been rejected. I don't like that he's opening up to her. And Mark was like,
are you fucking KB?
Mark's like, I don't think we watched the same clip. He's just like, I don't think we watched the same video that we. She's like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, from what I saw, she was asking about marriage, trying to get married to Rick, doing all these things. And he said no. But for whatever reason, that's all you focused on. Right. All you focused on was the fact that he was opening up to her, not that he actually rejected her.
Correct.
Right? Like, I think she's...
Wow, you're fucking KB, by the way.
Yeah, I honestly think she's fucking fried. Like, I think like throughout the entire show, I'm like, this girl is a bird, bro. Like, she was doing so many things that was backwards. It's clear that she was guilty. She did what she did. Like, she did what she did before she had confirmation of whether or not Rick did something that would justify what she did. Absolutely. Because she did what she did off of a comment he made. Correct. Not an action. Not an action. And after she did it, she was going to Bonfire saying,
hoping he did something.
I'm hoping that when I go, she literally said, I'm hoping that I see something tonight so I feel better about myself. That I feel better about myself and relieves me of my guilt. I was like, what?
And release me. Yo, she's fucked.
I was like, you're actually insane. I was like,
I hope he actually did something so I feel good about it.
I literally went the entire season. I was like, there's no scenario in which I'm gonna feel bad about you. I agree. And then at the very end, we'll go through each couple. At the very end, their fucking reunion, or the Bonfire episode where they come back together. Before the reunion episode, all the couples come back and they have a discussion, and they have three options. They can either leave the island alone, leave with someone else, or leave together. Rick and her and talking. And I'm like,
that pissed me the fuck off.
Yo, the entire,
I was so mad. The entire conversation,
the entire episode, the entirety of this conversation. I'm like, Rick, if you don't leave this, I'm like, if you don't leave this woman, I've lost all respect for you. Oh my God. Cause I was like, yo, this guy's growing. I like his growth. Tell me why this guy decides to get back with her.
Like, we gonna work through this.
I'm like, you.
And the thing is, the minute it's funny. It's funny because that aged so terribly, that conversation. Because I know the minute
they left the island,
he's like, nah.
Like, he's like, I shouldn't have done this.
Nah,
should have done this. I'm like, you big fucking dummy. And then
this girl night after night get clapped by KB and not care about you at all.
At all. Not 1 ounce of caring. Like, she's literally said.
This is what makes it worse. This is what makes it so much worse. And this just happens. This happens in normal life.
Yeah.
Women and men go through situations where they have somebody.
Yeah.
And then they get curious. As human beings, they get curious. They seek something else. It's cool. It's working for a little bit. And if that went smooth, you'd be done.
Yeah.
Only reason you're not done is because that didn't go smooth.
Yeah.
Not because you guys are great.
Yeah. It's because it didn't go smooth.
That's the only reason.
It's the only reason. Only reason.
So it's like, what pissed me off is like, if KB didn't turn back into his fucking demon self and was like, oh, like, we should see other people after fucking her for Like 5 episodes.
Dude, blowing her back over 5 episodes. She says, "What do you think about us leaving the island together?" And the man literally says, "I don't think it's a good idea." He's like, he literally said, "Us off the island? I don't really think that'd be a good idea."
You can't do that. Come on now.
Before he even said that, actually, he's like, "I just want you to know that, like, when you're on this island, if you start pursuing something with someone else, like, yeah, he's like, if you start pursuing something with someone else, I want you to, like, experience that." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, this is the exit route right here." I can see the play. I'm like, "Oh, I know what he's trying to do."
So, if he didn't do that, if KB kept the fucking
yeah,
for the whole duration of the episode to the last episode, and they were going on dates every day, she'd be locked in. She'd be locked in to the point that she'd be like, "I'm leaving with KB, Rick."
I almost wish that that's what happened. I wish that KB kept fucking him for the whole season, and then that would have made her leave Rick.
Yes,
Rick would have been like, "Yeah, I don't need to do this." Even if KB and her didn't stay together after the show, it probably would have forced Rick to be like, "Yeah, I actually don't fuck with you." Instead of getting back together with her looking like an idiot, then going on the reunion and finding out, "Yeah, we're not together anyway. Like, we decided to not be together." I would have just preferred Rick to not look like, I keep calling him a simp, but he really was. Like, I would have preferred him to not just look so weak by the end of it. Like, he was doing all the right shit. He was doing the shit with Medina. He put her in the friend zone. I was like, sick. Like, this man's just going to do his own thing. I'm like, why would you get back with this woman, man? The worst. Okay, next couple.
So that's them.
Next couple. Now we're going to talk about David and Kate. So
David's younger, right?
Okay, so this is the dynamic of this couple, right? David is 28 years old.
She's 34.
Kate is 34. Mm-hmm. I was watching the show with one of my homegirls, right? And she says something so real about their dynamic. She literally said she's at the wrong age in life to be fucking with this guy.
What does she mean by that?
So she's 6 years older than him, right? Yeah. But she's 34. She wants to have a family. She wants to have kids. She's literally at that age where she's ready. Yeah. Like, that's what she wants.
Yeah.
She shouldn't be looking for that with a guy 6 years younger than her.
I agree.
If she was
unless he was there,
which you can clearly tell he's not. If she was like 30, let's say she was 38, and she's still fucking this guy, the dynamic is different. Right. Now she's probably at a point in her life where she's like,
"I'm using him for dick."
Yes, I'm not looking for kids.
It's great dick.
I'm looking to just have like a great sexual experience, have some like good chemistry. Yep. Maybe we date, like all this stuff. Maybe I just don't want kids. Then the dynamic is so different. But I'm watching her and I'm like, how are you letting this like, he's a year younger than me.
Has her sprung.
How are you crying like I felt bad for her. I'm like, why are you crying like this over this man?
I did.
David, I remember texting Ryan during the show. It's an episode. David is literally so many dudes that I know in the city of Toronto, like, out here slinging dick when he's on an island.
He actually used that experience to the fullest.
And in one episode, he literally has a threesome with 2 women. One of them that he literally, like, he had no, like, prior dating. He's like, "Hey, you come in the shower with us. Join." Right? I thought the other girl, personally, I like Samantha the most on the show.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought she was one of the baddest. Yeah. These guys are also ridiculous. They got rid of one of the baddest girls in the first episode. Jeez. I was like, you guys are all dumb. They literally had a choice to get rid of a girl they had no chemistry with. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna get rid of Colleen, the girl no one's spoken to. They get rid of one of the baddest girls. I'm like, you guys are fucked. That's when I knew these guys were fried. So anyway, he ends up smashing Sam and Peyton. Right? He has a threesome with them. He ends up not even doing anything further with those 2. He ends up going he dropped them both and goes to Tanita, this blonde girl. He has a nice conversation with Samantha about saying, "Hey, look, I think I'm gonna pursue like a deeper thing with Tanita.
Which is respectable.
Very respectable. It was very respectable. And she took it like, she was cool. She's older than him, right? She's cool. She's like,
I can tell. She's like, I can tell.
Yeah, she's like, I can tell. Listen.
She's been watching. She's like,
she's like, I can tell. It's not that serious. Yeah, you do your thing. I'm gonna have my fun on my island. Fast forward a few episodes when they get to make another choice about who they want to get rid of off the island. He bodies
her.
He bodies Samantha. He gets rid of the one girl. He had that was cool. He had a conversation that was cool.
She said no problem.
You could tell she was upset, and I'm like, I know what David's doing. He's getting rid of Sam so that he's not distracted. Yes. So that he doesn't want to keep fucking her, right? Exactly. So he's not distracted.
He's like, get rid of this chick because if she's still here, I'm a slip up.
I'm liable to fuck up.
100.
So then Kate,
you know what? That was a good move. Now look at back.
It was
get rid of that.
Here's the thing.
She's still in the house.
And I'll say this. That was
a good move. I'm not gonna lie. Looking back,
my homegirls that were watching it with me, I know you're gonna hate me for saying this.
Not checkers, brother.
It was a dirtbag. He's a dirtbag, but it was a smart move. It was a smart move. He had to do it. He had to do it. I don't like saying it, but he had to do it.
I just had we just had this good heart to heart.
Yeah.
And he looked you in the eyes, and the whole time he's like, "I'm kicking her off."
He's like,
whole combo.
He's like, I have to kick you off for my own good. Because all the other mans were like, Rick was like, yo, I actually really like her. Like, she's cool. No, I need her off the island. I need her off.
I just need to get rid of this girl.
She needs to go.
She's just, you know.
So that happens.
Yeah.
On Kate's side, Kate's just trying to be week after week after week. Mark is fucking Mark is bombarding her with clips.
Oh yeah.
Of her man just being a whore.
Crushing her.
Every week, I was starting to feel bad. I was like, yo, I feel so bad for this woman. And then come let's just call it like 3 weeks in. Now she's like not even phased. Like she's so phased by it, but she's like, you know what? I'm gonna do my thing. She's got Dominique, another large black man who's crazy enough, a year older than David. David's 28. Dominique's 29. Way more mature. Yeah. Like, it's just a clear case of maturity here.
Yeah.
Right? Because she could fuck around with Dominique. Dom could probably give her what she wants, and Dom could clearly be okay with it.
Right.
But she is sprung by this dude. So, like, last episode, her and Dom have an overnight date. I think it's implied that he blows her back out. Like, things
she waited the whole month.
They ended up sleeping together.
Not only waited the whole month, she didn't even hug somebody.
Yeah, she didn't hug anyone.
She's like, I am here for my man the whole month. Even though he's crushing things out of the house, I can see it. Yeah. She still would come back. She'd bawl her eyes out and do nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
nothing.
So the whole month, they're like, this is your last night. She's like, first of all.
She waited to the last.
First of all, I know she was thinking, she's like, first of all, I know he's crushing over there.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's crushing. Like, I know he's crushing.
Yeah, he literally was saying, I feel bad for my ex. I feel bad for Kate. She's always on my mind. And then he walks into another room and crushes Tanita. So I'm like, okay.
So I know she's thinking that. Then she's like, I've been on this fucking island a month, crying my eyes out over this guy, and he doesn't give a fuck about me.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't had dick all month. And this is my last night.
And Dom is there.
And he's there.
He's there. This large man that I actually like. Dom straight up is probably, he was the next alpha male. Yeah. But he's different than KB. Yes. He's the next alpha male in terms of the stature and looks.
Yeah.
That was the next one. And she had him.
Right.
And she just kept him at bay all season. And he was like, cool. It is what it is. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then they smash. They have the reunion with each other, and she basically just rips David a new asshole. Yeah. Like, she's like, you don't need to.
She basically said, you're a little boy.
David was actually he was actually stupid, because in his eyes, he was like, listen,
I mean, his mind was made up to leave with that.
His mind was already made up to leave, but he's like, listen, out of respect, like, I just need to tell you, like, all the things that happened. And I'm like, bro, you don't need to say. I'm like, you don't need to say any of this. Bro. Like, I'm like, why?
So I was literally watching that part, and he's like, let me get it out. I'm like, she doesn't want to hear this.
She doesn't want to hear this.
I know. I just need. Can you guys do it for me?
So I want you to know, like, on the first night we had lap dances. Then on the second night there was a blackout party where
I don't need.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who were getting intoxicated, and myself included. And
he's recapping it like a fucking.
He's literally recapping it night by night, and she looks at Mark and she's like, can I cut him off? And Mark's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. And she's like, you don't need to tell all of America that you've hoard yourself out. I was like, you know what?
All of America.
I was like, you know what?
And then he still said, just let me get it out. And she's like,
they get up. She's like, I'm leaving the island. I don't think she said I'm leaving the island with someone else, right? She's
alone.
Yeah, she's like, I'm leaving the island by myself. And wait, she didn't leave with Dom?
No.
She actually chose not to leave with Dom.
Because she's like, as much as she was cool with Dom, she's like, I'm not over this.
I'm not over this.
Like, I need my
no, but I meant that night. I know in the reunion they talks about it, but that day.
Yeah, that day she's up by herself. She's
okay. So
my own by myself.
She decides to leave by herself and fucking.
And then he answers, I'm gonna leave with
Tia. They fucking hug. David's crying like I've never seen anyone cry before. Like snot is literally running down his nose onto her back, and the cameraman is so dirty. Like he fucking and he zoom in. He's like, yes, this is the shot right here. So they zoom in. That's that couple. The reunion,
wipes his nose and gets his other girl.
The reunion. It turns out that like David fumbled the bag with Tanita.
The reunion by reunion episode, he means like there's a last episode where all the couples come back.
Yeah,
not the reunion where they see each other again.
So he fumbles the bag with Tanita. Because he's apparently still trying to get back together with Kate.
Man, fuck that.
I saw these two. I'm like, you both are fucking birds, bro. Like, you dummy. I think, no.
Him and Tanita?
No, you know what? Tanita was just kind of like an airhead to me.
Ditzy.
She was ditzy.
I actually searched her Instagram.
I gotta look her up. I thought she was I think she's bad, but like, cute. I think she's bad. But she's I felt like you're probably boring.
Yeah.
Right? So then.
She's talking about nothing. I don't remember saying anything.
She was on all the time because she's like a pageant girl. She was like, I'm like, you're kind of crazy. But anyway, her and David don't work. So David and Kate are trying to make their situation work. And the moment I saw them say that, you can see Dom just shaking his head. He's like,
what are you guys on?
He's like, what are you guys doing? And he like just handled it very nicely. Yeah. He's like, yeah, we were friends. And then one day she just stopped talking to me. She just kind of ghosted. She apologizes to Dom for it. But I'm like, you're a fucking bird, bro. Like, and I actually kind of got heated at this moment because
back to that.
Yeah, because I'm like, look, David was for sure gaslighting the fuck out of her like multiple times. Afterwards during the show. Like it was clear as day what he was doing. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, listen, I actually got heated because I'm like, yo, someone needs to check her. Like someone needs to hold her accountable. Cause I'm like, you're a grown ass woman. I know that you're being gaslit, but you're 6 years his senior. At this point,
bro, she's stuck.
I know she like at this point, I expect someone. I was hoping Mark was gonna check her.
But the thing is, what can you do? There's nothing you can say because
no.
But you're gonna go home.
No, but this is the thing. No one just outright said it. I just wanted to hear someone say it, like, so that at least I have the peace of mind knowing that it was said.
She heard it,
right? Because at this point, I actually feel like no one is saying it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I just needed Mark to say, "Yo, this man is younger than you, and he has you like this on national TV." Like, we know that Dave is a clown. Like, we know that David was there for his own shit. He gaslit you. He was out here slaying dick to multiple. He literally had the most kills all season. Easy. And I'm like, at what point, Kate, do you have to honestly take a seat and be like, all right, I'm kind of fucking up here by being with this young man because they've been dating for 3 years. She moved from Florida or wherever it was to New York to be with this guy.
Yeah.
3 years. So she was 31 and they met when he was 25. What are you doing? What are you doing? She met him after she cheated on her last man in the marriage.
Man, yes.
So she's out to lunch. So she doesn't have the right friends in her life. I'm sorry.
When they started talking again, had David moved to LA?
David was in LA with Tanita.
Right?
Right. And then like
flew her out.
And then he flew back to New York, I think.
No. He was in LA and I think he flew Kate out to LA where they started fucking again.
Oh yeah, and Tanita didn't know, and then she found out. And but then also this guy,
he's so messy.
David's so messy because Samantha's talking about how like Samantha, this is how you know girls, you can't get shit by women because Samantha should have looked at Kate and was just like, listen, I know that you and David are still doing some shit together because you posted a photo of you on a balcony. And I know that's David's balcony. I know because me and David smashed.
Yes.
And so
this nigga was lying.
He was lying to her face.
Yo.
Gaslighting her like crazy, right? But I'm like,
man just kept lying.
But I'm like, this is why, Kate, you're a fucking bird, bro. Because she's sitting there hearing this.
How nuts is it, before you say that, how nuts is it that a woman to woman. No, not woman. Yeah. Not woman's woman. A woman can literally say, a woman's literally saying to this guy, yo, we fucked.
Yeah.
It's like, that never happened.
Never happened.
And she's like,
it started with the kiss.
Oh yeah, she's like, oh, we kissed in the
audio booth.
We kissed in the back room in the audio booth when the cameras were off. We never did that. She's like, what?
So you know what's funny? He kept saying we never did this, and then they showed the
footage of them walk through.
They showed the footage of them walk into the room and the camera was down, so you didn't see what happened. And then he's changed to I don't remember. I don't recall. I don't remember what happened. I'm like, bro, you don't get this
even worse than the kiss. It's like she even says the sex part. She's like, I came to your house and we had sex that night.
That was your balcony. I know it was.
We did not have sex. I don't know what you're talking about. And she's literally like.
And then he looked at Kate when they took a break, and the hot mics were still on. He was like, he's like, I don't know why you're getting upset about this. Like, the fact that you're letting like this girl say that we had sex, a girl that I never even kissed, like, makes no sense. I'm like,
he's sick.
So he's I know what he's doing. I know what's happening. Like, he showed up gaslight. He's trying to manipulate her. But like, if I'm Kate, and all these women are saying these things to me directly.
And they're here.
They're here in front of me. They're saying them to me. They're like, Kate, I was there. This is what we did.
Oh, so was I.
And Kate's response to all of this is to go look at David and say, you just have to be honest with me. You just have to be honest. Like, now's your chance to be honest. We can fix this if you're just honest. I'm like, no, bitch. Like, excuse my language. I'm like, no. Like, you need to hear this and fucking leave. I don't give a fuck if you're not with Dom. You need to leave.
I feel like she's literally just stuck on this closure of getting him to tell the truth.
No, she's
not gonna. She's like, I need, like, whatever it is inside of her needs him to tell her the truth, because I feel like she has this like maybe internal battle where she's like, I feel like
I hate this, bro. I've never seen a clear case of someone lost in the like.
She's gone.
She's in the nether realm. Like, she's lost in the sauce.
The thing is, she's gonna leave with him again. She left with him again.
Fuck those two. If I go on Instagram and see them together, so I'm pissed. So then we got
next couple.
Then we got Asonica and Gavin.
Right.
That look, in all honesty, was like the most normal out of all of them. Like, it didn't work out, but it wasn't like really that toxic.
No. Their thing was just, it was just, she wasn't invested in.
Yeah, it's like her. He wasn't super invested in her. He didn't like actually do anything outright
wrong.
He didn't really do anything. No. The worst thing he did was sucking Peyton's toes in the hot tub, which is dirty as fuck, because the hot tub is like actually super unsanitary. So that was gross.
I think he was beat that night. I think he was drunk that night.
Oh, he was twisted. He was twisted. He was gone. Like, we all know this. He was gone. When he was doing it, the man's eyes were cross-eyed. Like, he was gone. So he did.
I won't fault him for that.
So he did that.
Still weird, but
she was upset that like he was like openly talking about
he was trashing the relationship.
He was trashing it because he didn't know for sure whether or not. And then Asonica was like going on the same date with Kareem over and over and over again. And then
Kareem was giving her the play.
I'm pretty sure
it was cool.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure they smashed. I got the impression they smashed.
I think they insinuated they did. They're insinuating that they slapped, in my opinion as well.
I mean, well, Kareem basically insinuated it in like a very nice way.
At the reunion, right?
At the reunion.
Yeah.
We
had a good night.
She couldn't outright say it. That lets me feel like she probably did it. And, you know, I just think their relationship was like rocky. We don't even need to talk that much about it. It was whatever. Now we're going to talk about the cream of the crop, Casey and Ashley H. First off, I'm very happy with Ashley, even though, okay, we'll get to it. I was happy with Ashley H's progression by the end of the season, because by the end of the season, I'm like, yo, this girl cries all the time.
Balling
all the time. It's annoying. When she stopped crying and she got more confidence, I found her more attractive. Like I
didn't find her attractive.
No, not in like like she's hot.
Womanly attractive.
I just found it. I found her presence to be more attractive because I'm like, oh, you're not fucking. You're not over this
fucking idiot.
This fucking idiot anymore. She had some cakes though. Like she
bro.
Yo, she really did.
Her ass though. Her ass was like I think there was this first clip where they showed like her ass from like a sundress or something like that.
Everyone knew it,
and the cameraman zoomed in on it when she walked.
Everyone knew it, and no one wanted to say it. I had to say it to my friends. I was like,
she said she's like, my greatest ass is my ass. Like,
bro, she had the nicest ass on the show. Anyway, aside from all that, we got that talk shit out of the way. So
a little bit
basically with basically with Casey and Casey, your stereotypical. I think he's 26. She's 25. Casey is point blank your average
jock,
like early middle aged 20-something white dude who's used to getting things his way, and when he doesn't, he throws a tantrum and he tries to like manipulate shit. We've all seen this before. If you've gone to university or college, you've seen these niggas before.
You've seen this guy.
You've seen this guy before 100%, right? Yeah. And basically, you know, he like I'm not a doctor, but this man is straight up a sociopath, bro. He's straight up a sociopath and a little bit of a narcissist, but more a sociopath because I have to
see what he looks like again. I've seen so many seasons. I'm trying to remember.
So basically, like this dude, right? I think he brings her on the island. He brings his girl to the island, and the whole premise was that so that she could work through her insecurities, and he could prove that like, you know, this time apart is going to make it so that they can work together.
Tall guy.
They can make it work together.
Crystal blue eyes.
Yeah. So like first night, you know, it happens to be his birthday. He's letting loose. Girls are like giving him lap dances and shit. Obviously, she's not going to like that. Like it's going to put her in a dark place.
And she was loyal.
She was loyal, right? The turning point that made her decide, I am no longer going to cry with this dude. And this is why I say he's a sociopath, because he doubled down and said, I don't remember saying this, right? I don't know if he was twisted, but he literally said, I don't remember saying this. He was literally looking at Medina. Medina and him are talking to Hot Tub. And he straight up said to her, Ashley could break up with me tomorrow and I would be fine. I'd go back tomorrow dicking down girls the same way I was before. And you know what? And then he doubled down in this conversation. He's like, you know what? I feel like whenever I've been saying I love you to Ashley, I've been saying it like, yeah, I love you, but if you leave me tomorrow, it's cool. I'm going back to doing what I'm doing. In my opinion, bro, that was the second worst clip on the entire season. The first was KB dogging fucking Ashley G. Mm-hmm. That if you're the girl,
fucking wild,
bro. If you're a partner and you're loyal and you love your partner and you see a clip of your partner clear as day, like the reason I say I don't know if this man was twist. It's because this man, he looked so.
Oh, that's not Casey. Casey's the one that was crying, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The tall, you're thinking of David.
No. I'm thinking another season.
Yeah.
There's another.
Casey was so sound of mind. He was so clear. Like there was no slur. There was no stumble. He said this like he's been saying conviction. So imagine you're watching a video clip of your partner literally saying,
honestly, she left me tomorrow. I just go back to.
I'm good.
Not only saying that,
doubling down,
not even doubling down. You know you're mic'd up. You know it's recorded.
He didn't care.
You have to be on fucking meth for you to know that you're not saying this, and like you have to be on. You'd have to be on. Drugs.
Oh my god, bro!
Have to be on drugs to say that, because to literally be like, I never said that. And she's like, yeah, no, I never did.
See, and that's why I know he's a sociopath.
He's a
sociopath because he says this and believes that he didn't. And then he continues to do shit throughout the season. By this point, Ashley's like, you know what? This guy that I'm seeing through these clips is clearly not who I...
No, then when he sees her getting comfy...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it gets...
Through the season, you're saying.
Yeah.
But then he just stops.
Well, this is the thing. He stops...
Everything.
He stops everything when... she is now embracing it, like becoming more confident because she's like, yo, this dude is actually crazy. Yeah. I'm going to do my thing. At one point, I thought she was going to fuck Ben and Deacon. I honestly kind of hoping for it.
I was gambling. There's a part I was like, who's going to get it? I don't know if both are going to get it.
I was gambling too, but I was like, you know what? I was like, yo, Ashley, fuck them both. Go all the way. I don't think she was going to do it. I thought there was an energy that kind of made me feel like they might.
But part of me was like, I was literally like, I made a bet on myself. I'm like, who's she gonna fuck? Like, it's gonna be one of them.
Yeah,
one of the two.
I thought it was hilarious when she goes out with Ben a bunch. Dee comes and leaves the flowers on the bed, and then what ends up happening? It cuts to the clip of Ben and Ashley in the bed,
and the flowers on the ground,
and the duvet. It's not even like they just flung the duvet so the flowers hit the floor. The whole duvet is on the floor, bro. Like they're just like fuck the flowers.
Whenever this guy set up, fuck that.
So I was like, all right, like Ben's in the game, baby. He's the one, and she's doing her thing. She says it didn't fuck, but she's clearly making out with him. They definitely fucked the last night or whatever, and was killing Casey. Right? Casey is seeing clips of her with another man. Mm-hmm. He hasn't like made out with another woman. He hasn't done anything physical with another woman. But the reason I said what he did was like second worst is because he literally just straight up said, I don't give a fuck about my girl.
So I don't even love her, really.
I don't even love her. I don't give a fuck about her. I don't love her. She can leave me tomorrow. I'll be good. I fuck another girl. That's what he said.
He said that to someone. And even that woman was just like,
what? Yo, you're kind of an asshole, bro. Like, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So, of course, she's going to double down and do her own thing. This man starts crying. Like, it became...
hyperventilating.
Dude,
crying.
It became a thing where I was like, you can't come back from this.
Yeah.
Like, you can never... I need to find him on Instagram, but, like, I don't know if you can show yourself. I'm watching this years later, and I'm like, bro, if I saw him today, like, it's like people don't forget. Like...
Bro, when the man said... Was he the one who proposed?
Oh, bro, God. We didn't even get to that. So this is how much of a sociopath this guy is. He literally said, "I know that she has moved on, but all I need is 24 hours with her." And then he says,
a controlling weirdo.
This is the second worst thing he said. It might be tied with the first thing. He literally said. He said, this was crazy. He was saying this to the other women in the house. Yes. He was saying this, what I'm about to say. He was saying to the other women in the house that he was also like manipulating. He literally said to these other women,
like she's a fucking sale, like a pitch.
He said, "Yo, I used to work in sales." Yeah, he said, "I used to work in sales, and we used to do this thing where it's like, if we could,
we used to do this. We used to do this thing
in sales.
We're talking about your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Listen to how this conversation is coming out and built up.
Like, please,
with other women around you, you're talking to. You're talking to a bunch of other women.
Yeah.
About your situation with your girl, and you decide to tell this story and go, "Oh yeah, we used to do this thing in sales where we'd what."
Your girl is not a business transaction that you're trying to achieve. This man was talking about her like she was a piece of meat that you're trying to sell. So anyway, he says all that. And I keep over missing things, but there was a point before that. It's so wild. There was a point before that where he's like now so upset that his girl's moved on that he stops everything, and he doubles down on stopping by literally dissing every woman in the house that he's with. He at one point said, he's like, "I'm not like romantically attracted to any of the women in this house." In front of them, "I'm not romantically attracted to any of the women in this house. I don't know why she think I would be." And Peyton's like, "How are you just dissing us all like this?" And he's like, "Listen, the thought of having sex with any of these women in this house would make me puke." I was like,
bro, what is wrong with you?
You're fucked, bro. I was like, you're fucked. So here I am.
And the thing is, you're just chatting all these girls up 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. So then final night, he takes Rachel on the overnight thing. He basically is talking to Rachel the entire time about how he misses her, blah, blah, blah. this fucking dummy decides to buy an engagement ring.
Bruh.
And this is how, like, when I talk about people not holding anyone accountable, actually, I'm not mad at Rachel not holding me accountable because I know
my business.
Because I know the entire time Rachel's like, I want to see this dumpster fire. I want to see this play out. So she went with the man
to buy a ring.
Helped him buy a ring.
This is the one.
Helped with trying them on. She's like, yeah, this is the one.
The more
she knew what she was doing
the whole time. That girl's not,
because there was a moment when he said I'm gonna propose to her. There's a look on Rachel's face where her eyes went wide. She was like, oh, okay,
all right, let's go.
We'll do that.
Like, let's go down that path.
I'll help you. Like, we'll see how crazy it gets.
She wanted to have some fun.
I'm looking forward to it. So on the fucking reunion show, on the final bonfire night, Ashley just kind of rips him a new one. Says, you're basically a fucking manipulative psycho.
And I found myself.
And he, like, if you ever wanted to see a case of what not reading the room looks like,
bro,
it's this.
I actually felt the cameraman's embarrassment, Mark's embarrassment, her embarrassment, any other viewer that's watching this embarrassment who's ever seen this episode.
Like, secondhand embarrassment was real.
I literally, like,
Casey just does not know how to read the room at all. Like, Ashley's basically ripping this guy a new asshole, saying, like, I'm a new person. I'm a new person. I no longer need to fucking be with you. Like, it makes no sense. I've grown. That's it.
Yo, and it's crazy because I'm like, after everything she said to him and how she felt, there was no inclination of feelings or love. She didn't say I love you, didn't say I miss you, didn't say, you know what, like, I feel like, you know, this really made us stronger. She was barely even like looking at him, like, in terms of like energy. And this guy, he already bought the ring, but he thought at this moment is when I go down on one knee. I literally felt the embarrassment of Mark, the embarrassment of the camera crew, the production crew, any other person watching that fucking show in America and around the world. Yeah. This man said, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but one sec. Like, and as he's going down, she's like, please don't. Like, please.
She's like, no, you're not doing this.
No. Can you? I almost felt like she wanted to say, get up.
She was so cringe. This man was like kissing on her knee. He kept, you know what really set me off the edge? When this man kept saying baby, baby.
The double baby.
I wanted to like,
you're my baby.
I wanted to imagine being the producers of the show, right? Obviously, everyone is like, yo, this is crazy, cringe, and embarrassing. Yeah. If you're the producer, you're literally watching that like behind the cameras, and you're like, this is such good television. Like, you literally cannot write this. You can't write this. Like, how do you find someone like this to be on the show who's really gonna fuck themselves up like this?
And who's really that delusional? Like, you know, the whole production crew was like, he's proposing. He's doing it. He's actually proposing. He's going down.
He's actually doing this.
He's going on his knees.
This is insane. Bro.
So she obviously declined.
Obviously declined. And then on the reunion, the man he didn't show up. He doesn't show up because he's not showing up because I had an emotional experience.
It's traumatic for him.
You fucking coward. Like, that's what I was really hoping. I was really hoping we would see him.
He didn't come.
He didn't show up.
Yeah, that was a show. We've never done a recap of a show before, but I feel like this was just, there's so many elements to the show. You know, we start off as a relationship talk podcast, so it's like it's just the dynamic of these different relationships totally lines up with the content we talk about anyways. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Like, throughout that whole season, like, you're gonna watch the other seasons as well. But throughout each season of that show, like, I like that show because it's just pure mix up. Yeah. As exciting as it is, you know, and entertaining as it is, it's a fucking stupid idea. Like, it's just the stupidest. Like, terrible. The concept of like, yo, me and you are rocky right now. Me and you, babe, we're a little rocky right now. You know what I think we should do? I think we should go on the island together and be separated and live in the house with singles for about a month. And then, you know, if that works out and we come back to each other, then we're really in love.
We're in love.
What the fuck?
Dude, if I said that to any girl I'm with, they'd be like, just tell me you want to break up.
Tell me here.
Yeah, just tell me now. We don't have to go on this island.
Tell
like,
me here.
Tell me you want to break up.
Like, just say we're done without saying you're done.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I want to go on this island where we can see other people, and then if we come back, then we're good. No, like, no. But for the show, very entertaining. The dynamics of relationships are entertaining. But for me, I was literally watching that show and constantly found myself, what would you do? What would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do? Every episode, I'm just like, you come into a house and the girls pull you aside and does this. What would you do? And you know your girls, you don't know what your girls do. Like, I constantly caught myself like watching it as entertainment, but also just like, this is stressful shit. Like, it's not just like,
I know
not as easy as like it's fun to watch, but like, I'm in situations locally where I'm home and my girlfriend's just down the street and I'm like, oh man, this is a little awkward. I'm stuck in a house some more,
dude. I'm
crumbling. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now to your face, I'm gonna cheat. I would tell my girl, don't bring me there. I'll cheat. Let's break up here. Like,
if that's what you want,
break up here, please, because I'll cheat. Don't put me there.
Yeah.
Why do that?
Why do that? Why give me that emotional trauma?
No.
I'll tell you right now, there was one time in particular where I really empathized hard, and it was with Rick, where Medina was like
on him,
and he pushed her off, and he was just sitting there, and then she came back, and I was like,
she straddled him, right?
Yes, and I'm like,
and you seem like this.
I was like, I've been there. And I'm like, yo.
It's not easy. You can literally see him like this head turn. And then he's just like, we can't. And she's like, come on, let's just do it. And he's like, we can't.
He's like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do.
As much as I want to, like, I can't. And she just goes, okay. But she's trying to break him.
Dude,
she's trying to break him.
She was trying to fucking destroy him.
That was not, I understand what you're going through. I know you have a girlfriend. I know this is tough for you. That was, I want to fuck.
This is what I want to do. And when are we going to make that happen?
So when are we doing that? So yeah, it was definitely not an easy situation. Not an ideal situation to put your partner in if you're trying to work on things, but definitely a good show. I'm glad we did this recap. Was there anything else I want to talk about?
Let's go with the
what were you gonna say? Oh, the question.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the questions real quick.
I completely forgot. I'm like, is there something we're missing?
Yeah.
We got enough responses for this question. I thought we would. It was a very interesting question. It was pertaining to a situation that Zamora and I both have gone through.
Yeah.
In our lives.
What, for the question?
Yeah.
Let me pull up the question.
The question was inspired by Zamora and I's real lives. So I
gotta read the question again to get triggered by this. Hold on. What gets you sprung faster? Good sex or good conversation? Have you ever ignored red flags on purpose because of it? Yeah, I've been in both. Let's read the question. Let's read the responses real quick. Ambitious cadet, good conversation. I've tried to ignore bad sex simply because we get along so well. Finance for the culture, conversation plus intelligence. I'm not finna be sexually intimate if you can't stimulate my mind. Any good conversation, and I 100% ignored all the red flags. That's so hilarious because you wrote that in caps.
100%.
I've been a romanticizer. It's been a slow but fruitful progress of learning to fall in love with reality and not potential. Orban, good conversations is solid grounds to understanding another person and providing space for someone else to be vulnerable, which in all honesty is hot as fuck. As for red flags, yes, we've been there, done that. Planet Skits, good convo, and sadly, yes, everyone's ignored the red flags, clearly. Allison, good conversation, that's the gateway. If you leave me remembering a conversation, I'll always think of you. Facts. In the past, I've ignored red flags, my own boundaries, but now I've definitely learned to stand my ground and keep those boundaries in check. Third, Nicole, I've experienced both spectrums. Younger self definitely ignored all the red signs due to sex, and I didn't value my worth. Current state, good conversation is a non-negotiable. Also could be due to age. If a good conversation doesn't happen, she ain't on. Facts. Christina.
Before you go on, I feel like a lot of people are lying.
You think so? Because let me read the question.
Not lying about their answer, but like obviously the predominant answer is good conversation gets people sprung faster.
Yeah.
I get it. Fine. Sure, I got it. But is that really true? For like
sprung,
sprung. The term is sprung.
Yeah,
faster. Like not interested. What not what?
Yeah,
not what gets so interested more. Yeah, or not what gets you more involved, but sprung. Like do these all these people saying conversation? Like did the conversation get you sprung?
So this is like,
and I don't have to know all. I don't have to know all your business, but. You guys these are safe answers, which is fine.
So this is what I think, though. This is what I think. I think you're right. Like, so I think you're right. Initially, I think there was definitely a stage where it was like, I would 1,000% get sprung way quicker from the sex.
You're right. We all.
If we have the opportunity to have sex early, chances are, and it is great, I'll probably get sprung off the sex first.
Correct.
I think why people are answering this way now is because most of them are at a stage in their life where the sex can't happen for them
without these stages.
Without this.
Correct.
Right. So I think that's why they're all answering in that way. But if we would have just say, well, of the two things, what has got you sprung quicker?
Right.
It's typically sex.
Not where your mindset is right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely sex. Like sex would get someone sprung. Because when you're sprung, that's indicating that you're not totally thinking straight.
All things out the window.
You're not thinking straight. Like you're not thinking straight about everything else. So, and I don't think that's what people realize what sprung means. I think they means like what gets you interested. I think
that's how they're taking it.
Right? And it's like sprung literally means like you're fucking captivated. You're not
questioning yourself. What am I doing?
You're like, I'm not thinking straight. Like,
how did I end up here again?
You know, like, the only way that I've gotten sprung from combos is if we haven't had like we've been having the combos for a long time, like a prolonged period of time.
Yep.
We haven't had sex. By the time we have sex, if the sex is fucking great, by the time we have it,
you're locked up.
Locks. Locked. Throw away the key. But I'm already sprung from this prolonged period of conversation. But you're right. To answer the question, it should be sex that gets you sprung quicker.
So I'm both. So I've had sexual occurrences for sure.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, I don't know how I keep ending up at your house, but I'm here again. I'm stuck. But I got sprung from convo only if it's a first time convo that lasts hours.
Yes.
Then I'm hooked. Like, what was that?
Yeah. Then you're like, what the fuck?
Like those are the ones where I'm like, because like my first time convos with people, very short, very nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Like you kind of do little check-ins, your little, whatever. Ask a couple questions, like, all right, well, cool. Like, it was nice meeting you, whatever. And then you exchange numbers or whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? But when the first combo is like, if it's out somewhere and you meet someone in person and you just like, hey, you start talking and you're just sitting in a place.
Yeah. And
you're just talking. You're like, what the fuck was? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never met you in my life.
And we talked like this.
We talk like this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? Like you start, what the fuck is that? Like, what was that?
Yeah,
I don't even know you, but I don't want to stop talking to you.
That's the only time it'll happen.
That will get me sprung because I'm like, that was the best conversation ever.
Yeah,
I've never met someone like this in my life.
Now you're in the game. Now you're stuck.
Shit that you're like, I never met anyone this compatible to me in one combo.
Just one.
You will tell yourself
one is all it takes.
I've never met anyone in my life more compatible than this person. And if you ask yourself right now, where's that person? Nowhere. Nowhere
to be seen. Nowhere to be seen.
Man, was there more, or did I cut you off?
No, there's much more, but it's all the same.
All the same thing.
All the same.
So yeah, our answers as we said. But yeah, it's it's been an interesting journey. It's really funny, having these convos, and there's so many topics we just pulled from our actual lives.
I know.
Like
a lot.
I think like when you think about things, I'm like, how do we not run out of stuff to talk about? Is because we live it. I'm actually living certain things.
Dude, our lives are they're not movies, they're reoccurring series, like television series. Like every year there's like a new season and something new happen, new developments. Like
definitely TV show versus movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Movie is kind of the set plot. It goes up, goes down. Yeah, whatever. TV series hooks you.
Yeah.
Next episode, I have no idea what's gonna happen, and then it goes season finale.
Yeah,
it's a breakup. And then new season.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're back in the game. We're back in the game.
Oh my god! But I love it, man.
Yeah.
There's more I want to talk about, but I feel like we can wrap up here. Like we said earlier, I'm gonna be gone in a couple of weeks, so. I'm gonna be gone in a couple of weeks for a few weeks, so we'll be without the podcast for a bit after that. But we'll get these couple episodes out before I leave.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what's happening with Toronto right now, and going into our summer and
we'll figure it out.
Did you hear about how he owns the sticker company for COVID stuff?
Yeah, he's a fucking prick, bro. Like, so he's always owned a decal company.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you go into like retail stores or wherever and you see the stickers on the floor that say like
back or
stand like this distance apart,
right?
It's his company that does it.
No,
so prior to COVID, I don't know what his net worth was.
Like $2. It
was like $2 million. Now he's worth like 50 mil. And you're just like, yeah, we understand why you don't want shit to open.
Extending lockdown. Like, and the thing is,
fucking prick,
this
bro.
This isn't even like it. People, conspiracy theory. Like, there's actually
facts.
Not even facts. As a human being, you can literally see the personal interest in this extending. If I'm now worth 50 mil as a mayor, as a mayor, I'm now worth 50 mil, and I used to be worth two, and it's due to this pandemic. As much as I'd love for the city to be great and you guys not to hate me anymore, I don't give a fuck.
This man's gonna probably try and reopen when he hits. You're like, we'll reopen when I hit 100 million. When I hit 100 million, that's when we get to reopen. And you're
but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's clearly a personal interest to this prolonging.
Yeah,
that's not a conspiracy. That just makes sense. That's just good business.
Good business. And it's like, yo, part of me, like, conspiracists is like, yeah, you're doing this so that when you eventually get booted out of office, because you're chilling, you got your nice little nest egg.
You know you're getting
kicked
out.
You know you're getting kicked to the curb, right? Yeah. Like, that's what's happening.
He knows it's coming, so he's like, let me stock. He's basically trying to stock up before he gets kicked out.
Oh my god!
I mean, from a business side, you have to respect the hustle.
Business side, yeah, it's gutty, but for sure, like
he's doing what he got to do, but. From a humanity side, and
bro,
you're fucked, man,
bro.
So
like, I promise you, you better hope I like never. It'd be one of those things. It'd be so hard not to see him on road
and not want to fight him,
Like, it'd be one of those situations for sure. If I saw him on road, I would actually yell some shit.
Just so he hears it.
I'd be like, you fucking Tim. I'd call him something like he needs to hear it. I can't put hands on him because I want to live, but like, bro, it's on site for him, for a lot of people, you know.
But hopefully there's some form of a summer for us this summer.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, overall, we're still in this shit. Only us.
Only us. Just only us.
Only us, guys. Miami's moving.
Seriously.
What was it? UFC? I think it was a UFC fight that had 75,000 people.
It was in I think it was in Houston.
Was it UFC or boxing?
Well, the Canelo fight was in Houston. That was packed. And so was the UFC one. I think that it might have been Tampa. It was in Tampa.
It was like 75 or 65,000. Like,
yeah, they were just like, yo, you got a mask, wear it if you want. If you don't, cool. But that's also because they're fucking vaccinating everyone. Like, they have that option, and we're so slow as fuck.
Yeah,
like,
that's
the main reason why. But whatever, we'll see what happens.
The life we live. Thank you guys for coming. Stopping by with us
through
another week. Dope as usual.
Yes, sir.
We're not paid by Temptation Island.
We're not
in any ways.
Go watch the show,
but we will take a check. Have a good week, guys, and until next week. See y'all.
Peace.
Hello.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.